Ghost University. I'm going to make a intro to a video that I'm going to break apart into pieces because there's a decent amount of material that I figure I can go and break down, and we can have fun and be educated at the same time, at least according to how I view things. So in my Hero with a Thousand Faces video, I'm going to show that there are people who have written books that talk about 16 crucified saviors, which means that there have been people throughout history that have all been crucified like Jesus was, and or had disciples, or born of the virgin, were baptized, were resurrected, you name it. They'll try and correspond all those people's lives, those 16 other crucified saviors, to the life of Christ. Some of that even includes people who never existed, a bunch of mythological characters, which they want to also turn Christ into a mythological character as well, where like Christ isn't real, just like most of those other people aren't real, and they can justify lumping everything together because they want to rearrange your morals. And how they have to do that is they have to convince you that the Bible isn't real either, which would make all of it the same. Because I believe that the Bible is the only truth, and Jesus Christ lived, and there was a reason why he lived. So I have some subject matter to break down, and I think we'll have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to talk about, again, how they want to rearrange your morals, because they have to detach morals from God in order to change your morals. Because if there is no God, why should the way you live your life, as in your religion or whatever you want to call it, matter if there is no ultimate God that you're going to have to answer to on the day of judgment, or at the last day, as the Bible calls it as well? So there's a KGB agent named Yuri Bezmenov. He said it was his job to go into your country and rearrange your morals. And the reason they want to do that is because once they can change your morals into things that you probably shouldn't ever follow, and that will destroy your family and destroy your economy and destroy your environment, they have to make it so the truth of God isn't real. And they have to rearrange your morals in order to get you to that point. There's no God, there's no morals. But then that means everybody's going to live according to how they believe they should live. Like, it makes every person their own God, and nobody can tell them anything. And, that's your truth, but it's not mine. But I believe that there's a universal truth. There's one universal truth, and we're going to get down to that. I'm going to show a video in one of the parts called Zeitgeist. And Zeitgeist breaks down the theme of all religions being the same, and how there were 16 crucified saviors. And that book came from a man, I think his name is Casey Graves. Casey Graves, whatever that man's name is. A lot of their material about that came from him. Now, Graves is a Mason, and in Masonry, they do believe in those stories of mythology, but they use it to dictate how every man is his own God, and you should make up your own mind about what the truth is to you. That's the purpose of it. That's what Masons do. They use all those things to say, well, this is the truth, and they think that all those things are allegories pertaining to how man has to make himself better. And I should almost say how that's going to be the birth of the Superman, where a man makes his own decisions for his own life. And it starts there. And I also believe that the theme of the Superman is also about the coming of the Antichrist. But I have videos about the Antichrist and Nietzsche and Superman up on my channel already. I'll talk about some of those things, because in there it talks about replacing science with art, or using art to teach science. But they didn't tell you exactly what they taught you. They just threw themes in front of your face. And they never told you that they're trying to make you believe in dualism, or God somehow is equal to the devil, or the devil is equal to God, since God came first. And there are a lot of themes I'm going to go over, but I will make sure to run it all back down the funnel into one truth, one God. And they do a lot of it through that theme, a hero with 1,000 faces. All right? So let's get to it. I have a brief overview before I go more off into the book. 16 Crucified Saviors, and also The Hero with a Thousand Faces. So the three books that I'll be talking about, not completely, but just use as some reference material, are The Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall. In that book, he talks about many ancient mysteries like the pyramid, ancient Egyptian mythology. He'll talk about Greek mythology. He'll also talk about Rome some. He speaks on the initiation at the pyramid, Egyptian symbolism. There are many things he talks about. He speaks of the Rosicrucians and the mysteries that they have. He'll speak about Mithras. He'll speak about Pythagoras. He'll speak about Hermes. He'll speak about all those people. And he'll show you that those stories indeed do overlap. And for him, it's all the same. It's the same story being retold. And if not exactly the same, it's close enough to the point where we'll understand that it's pretty much the same story, that there's no real give in it. They just have different names. And also, what I have is The Two Babylons. The Two Babylons is written by Alexander Hislop. And his book is The Christian Perspective. Manly P. Hall and The Secret Teaching of All Ages, it's more occultic. But The Two Babylons is the Christian side of the argument. And it really argues the same thing. But Alexander Hislop, he says that the Bible is the one true story and the rest are all fake. And the rest of them all take from each other, as in they're borrowing stories from each other and retelling the same story, which goes off into my video about Illuminati symbolism in the movies, where they're telling you the same story over and over and over again. Go watch that. Illuminati symbolism in the movies covers that Hollywood is running out of ways to tell us the same story. They just are. They'll change names, but they'll keep the story the same. And the symbolism will be the same a lot of times as well. They just change names and keep it moving. And so in those books, we'll learn how these things connect and that the Bible is the one true book. And oftentimes, Manly P. Hall, he admits that the Bible is the best book to learn from. And so does Kersey Graves with his Secret Teachings of All Ages. He admits the Bible is the best book to learn from as well. They just don't want you to really believe the truth of the Bible and want to lump Jesus in with the rest of those fools. Those fools that never existed. It's pathetic. But we will get down to talking about more of Campbell's book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, and other things like the 16 Crucified Saviors together, dualism, and other aspects in the coming parts to The Hero with a Thousand Faces. Thanks for viewing the videos. Ghost University.